Hey guys, welcome back into my channel. I hope you've been doing super well. I'm Meg and I'm a mindfulness coach and healer, and I share wisdom and hope through guided meditation and wisdom sessions. And in today's video, I will be taking you through some of the channeled energies that are coming up for March as we start and approach in the coming weeks. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm getting reacquainted with my own voice. And for those of you who've been with me for a while, thank you so much for being here. I honor you. I respect you. I'm so grateful for you. I apologize I haven't been as present the beginning of the year. I've sort of been pausing a bit, which is a perfect way to segue into the first theme, I think, for this coming up month of March. There is an energy around sort of pausing, but not in the event of not taking any action, but more just marinating and allowing and not forcing. I think personally, I'll speak for myself. There's been an energy of really being excited to move forward and to share and to authentically be my most Meg self. And I encourage us all to be this all the time. But our energy is limited reserves. And I think when we get to certain spaces on our spiritual path, there's moments that require us to just pause and sort of like this baking moment where things are kind of matriculating and rising and falling and coming together. And sometimes, this length of time can be a little bit longer than maybe we anticipate, or, we're not the most patient creatures as humans. But I encourage you during the month of March, if things don't feel quite aligned, try your best to just allow. And it's almost like puzzle pieces that fit together. And I know we can all draw upon anecdotal times in our lives where things just sort of fit and it makes a whole lot of sense. And it feels like there's an ease and a natural rhythm to it, almost like the natural rhythm of how the earth, and the stars and our planet literally is spinning around as I speak, and the tides and the waves, they're always crashing. There's no negotiation. They just are showing up as they are, and they're continuing. And so during this pause, just allow yourself to be. And I always recommend journaling, and of course, as much as you can get some white space to allow reflection for you to sort of just receive the inputs that you're going to be getting from your higher self. You might be receiving messages from your higher self during your normal quiet periods during this pausing moment. You could be, in a record store or, at a concert, and all of a sudden there's a song and the lyric really speaks to you. I hope you can be really sort of aware of the messages and people and things. And it requires us to be very Aquarian in this way, very independent in the way that we're processing information. And I know that when things click into place like a seatbelt, it clicks. And so if you haven't been able to feel that, and you'll know, and just trust that you are on your divinely guided path if it's taking a little bit longer. So, this applies to so many areas of our life. Like, for example, if you've been in 5 or 6 rounds of interviews and it just seems kind of ridiculous, maybe instead of this sort of self-analysis of, oh, I have to fit into this company or organization, maybe it's the reverse, and you can look at it from a different perspective. Like, I'm going to try on, this company to see if I think it's the right thing for me. And that's a beautiful thing too. It's almost like a feedback loop that that muscle that we all have to exercise. So that's the first theme that's coming up. Welcome a pause or this marination phase. And then when you're ready to press resume or to take the step, you're going to feel like it just makes more sense. The second theme that's coming up for March is the pristine element of our body as this temple that is so keenly aware of our surroundings, the way that we observe things, how we feel around certain people and environments, conversations, you name it. We are an organism or a body, and we are evolving and changing. And I really, really, really encourage you to take a very strong note of how you're feeling about things, because our body is really the first indicator of safety and clarity and comfort. And, the things that you value in your life are on the top of the list for a reason. And if your body is responding to certain things, I would pay keen attention to it. An example, I was on a consult for a project that I'm trying to kick off, and the person that I was speaking with, I just felt a tightness in my chest. And after we concluded the session, I felt very deflated. I immediately went to the beach and just put my feet into the ocean and sort of had to pull all the reserves possible to sort of not feel really overwhelmed. And I stopped and was very observant, wow, why am I so overwhelmed? This is the kind of thing that we tend to blow off because, we got to make it to that meeting and we have to go, drop the kids off at soccer and we got to do all these things. And the responsibilities are always going to be there. But when something isn't aligned, or it just, the frequency or vibration of maybe the way a conversation hits you, maybe it's a physical place, maybe it's a food that you're responding to, maybe it's a location that you're visiting, whatever it may be, these are coming up for a reason, and you know yourself and your worth and what you're calling in better than anyone. So listen to your body. And of course, on that note, treat it with such care. Try, if you can, during, we're in this incubation phase in Aquarius season as we're entering into March too, where it's we're on the brink of spring and literally the sun's going to be shining, but this is still a little bit of the quieter wintry moments that allow us to just be and to hibernate just for a minute longer. Warm baths and grounding into the earth and sleep and hydration and nutrition, all these basic needs that when you add them all up together really provide such a foundation for health and well-being. So treat your body with the most care. And if you can, maybe treat yourself to an acupuncture session, or if you're in a part of the country or that's colder, the weather's changed, maybe it's an infrared session for you that can warm you up, or maybe you can light a fire and read next to a nice cozy fireplace. Or if it is warm, maybe you can take a walk and just feel the sun on your face. All of these things make us feel more ourselves. And I think that's what March is calling us to do. To not be anything other than just 190% who you are. And sometimes beating to your own drum feels a little bit jarring because it might not fit into the other ways that people are doing their lives. And I mean, even in society, but that's okay. You are meant to be a pioneer and in this reflective state. So take good care of your body. The third and final theme that I think comes strongly with March is tied to our emotions, but also to the work that we're doing in the world. And being able to carve out the time to do so. But often we can push it off and think that there's other, more important things that pay the bills or fill in the blank. But I really think March is a time to sort of spring clean your idea set of what it is that you're really trying to manifest. This is a big one, guys. This is like the big the big hunk of, I think, the catalyst of what's going to be coming in for you, which is going to be something so amazing. This is like the thing on your vision board that really anchored the entire thing. I know there was something for me. I'm sure there's something for you. It's probably the wish or the desire or the hope that has been with you and along for the ride in your life for a really long time. This is like a big thing. And these big things can come in so many different forms. But this feels really big because sometimes when we carry around a wish and a desire and we're on our path, manifesting and doing the spiritual work, it can feel really, really deflating when it doesn't happen, right? And it's seemingly happening for other people when you look around. Oh, they just went and got this amazing vacation house and that's what my goal is, or whatever it is for you. Obviously, there's such a myriad of things for each of us. But that doesn't mean it's not happening if it hasn't come just yet. So I want you to wrap your arms around this wish that you've had, that you've probably thrown to the side or discarded altogether. I know I have for years in certain cases where it's like, gosh, this goal feels too big. I can't carry it. I've chipped away. I've failed. I've tried this. I've tried that. And this is our path. This is life. Like, there's no giving up. So I'm here to tell you that for this big manifestation, let's say, that you're calling in, March is the time to tidy up how you're going to chip away at aligning with it more. Maybe it's something minor. Maybe it's something, that you could go back to, a practice that really helped you in a time, before you can reflect and see, before that really awesome job came into my life, I was really taking it upon myself to read or do, whatever your process was. Like, we all have the energetic process of how we call things in. So I think it's kind of like you're this little builder and you're working in your house and you're kind of clearing through the residue. And I'm just going to say the billboard headline for that is, if you've been trying to push forth with a goal and it just hasn't come about and you're feeling so frustrated, it's time to let it down for a second and just come to a place where you approach it with a completely different attitude and light, and come at it from a different angle. You might need to bounce some ideas off of, loved ones or friends, or please drop a note in the comments below and everybody can chime in here too. But sometimes we have to just put ourselves back out in the game in a different way. So know that if your manifestation, this thing that you've been calling in for so long, and I don't really love the word manifestation, so I'm just going to keep calling it a wish. If this wish feels so big and so like you can't grasp it, that's a good thing, because it means you really want it. And there's no giving up, guys. There's just not. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to wrap it up here, is that you have to remember this one thing. There is no other person on this entire planet that is like you. Yes, we have many similarities and interests and even certain paths that are similar, but there's no other you. And there's no competition for you to feel like you don't deserve the things that are really on that wish list. If your body's telling you, like I was mentioning, something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. And if you need to pause and just kind of marinate for a little bit in March, this is okay. You're human, but don't give up. Keep your spirits high. And sometimes all we need to do is just rest a little more in order for us to catapult ourselves into, the next phase of, even the next week, So just be gentle on yourself. March is going to be beautiful. I'm super excited to bring more videos. I'm really glad to be here with you all, and I will see you very soon for another meditation. I hope that you have the best day. Take care.